right, and we're going. So, welcome back to the Late Night Drive. My name is Erron. Obviously, we got Zack behind the camera, and we are here with a super special guest, Seven, who brought his dad along, Hooter. Welcome, man.
Thanks, bro.
We've been trying to get this going for a while now.
That's right.
I'm excited to have you on.
Yep. Me too, bro. Thank you. I appreciate you
Yeah.
for just seeing whatever you see in me, bro, and giving me the opportunity to speak, tell my story, or whatever it is your vision is to have me here for.
Oh,
So,
dude,
thank you.
absolutely.
I appreciate it.
So, because we met at Cheddar, we met here, and kind of immediately we got to talking about your podcast,
Yep.
which is something I want to get into. So I have a relative direction, but so we'll get to your podcast, but that is something that I want to make sure that we do get to. So I guess first I want to get to you. Who are you? I honestly partly don't know you. I know you on this side of things.
Yeah. So I actually get that a lot, man, because I do a lot of networking, and a lot of the work that I've done in the past few years has been like, through social media and just like having that perspective, So when I'm out networking, that's all people get to see. Here you go, buddy. And I don't bring too many people too close in unless we can like get on a personal level where a lot of people don't really care to know like your story and like what it is that you do, and who you are. So me personally, I like to tell my story and stuff like this. So thanks for giving me this space. But my name is Willie. I've been an entrepreneur for the past 7 years. When I first started as an entrepreneur, I was just looking to really just make money, man. That was it. I didn't understand the purpose behind entrepreneurship, right? And when I came into my business, I didn't know that my purpose was going to be what it is today, right? So what I do is I'm a health coach. I'm a cafe owner. I own a business in Parma, Ohio called Parma Nutrition, and my mission has just been to change people's lives, bro. I've helped people, lose from 20 to 100 pounds. I've helped people, earn part-time income, full-time income as a health coach, opening up 12 plus cafes in Northeast Ohio, some in Florida, so doing that, right? I've been doing personal training too. And on top of that, bro, number one is just being a believer. Like, I'm a big believer in God. My faith has always been, just in Christ and stuff like that. So that's really who I am, bro.
Right. Yeah. So, because your podcast is a men's mental health, which is, you don't hear that ever. Like, as soon as you told me that, like, that was something that like caught me, because that, like, it's not talked about in general, like friend groups, online, like it's not. It's finally becoming something that we're talking about, but it's not talked about at all. And you said something to me yesterday when we were talking about it. You said 9 out of 10 people, if you just walk outside, 9 out of 10 men are going to have like something wrong, like mental health problems that they don't address.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's like, I think that's spot on. That's huge. And that was the biggest thing meeting you was, you meet people, you can tell when they do things just for money, and that's, people are like that. That's fine. Like, that's their own person. Yeah. And then meeting you, it's like you also do this for not only yourself, not only your family, but just even to help others, people who you don't know, people who you don't know on a personal basis. And you're like, how can I help you? That's everything. So that's why I was like, I got to get him on, because you have a story to tell.
Yeah.
And
I appreciate that.
Yeah. That's what we do here. I want to hear that story. I want to know what brought you to here, because I do think to be a caring person in the way you are, there's probably a lot behind the scenes that happened that brought you here,
Yeah.
It's not an easy road all the time, and I get that, but
So when you say brought me here, is it like here to this space, or just like where I'm at today?
Where you are at today, you as a person, what made you, and I'm not talking social media, like who you are, because you have to be something on social media, whether it's you or not. Your thing is fitness, like that's what you promote, and I'm not saying that in a negative way. I mean that very, like, that's what you do.
Yeah.
I'm saying, what made you who you are today. So where are you from?
I'm from Cleveland. I was raised in Parma though.
Okay.
So I come from I was raised in the Section 8 housing in Parma. It's like a development, and it's like one of the. Honestly, I don't think it's any other ones. It's like a 3-building Section 8 housing in Parma. It's like the lower end of Parma, and I was raised there from 2 years old until like high school, until my family was able to make enough income monthly to move out and get me closer to my high school where I can be around my friends and stuff like that. So I was raised in the Section 8 housing. I come from a very family-oriented background. My mother and father, raised me. I have 5 siblings total, and I have one brother. He's we're related from mom and dad, so he's 10 years older than me. So I would say like watching like him really is what I modeled him until I got to like middle school and high school, where then I was able to see different things for myself, and I was able to figure out that I wanted to be adaptable early in life, because I realized that if I was able to adapt with like different races and different ages, I would be able to be more successful, and I would be able to showcase who I am in different lights, and that would give me more opportunity in the long run. And I didn't really know that was the purpose of what I was doing, but as I got older, I realized like, man, like anywhere you go around, like you can ask my friends, and somebody's gonna know me, somewhere. And I would say like that's just a purpose, that's just a mission that God gave me a long time ago. So, that's a little bit about me, but I would say that I am where I am today because of the things that I've been through, and I've gone through so much because I've always been the person who I'm gonna get out there, right, and I'm gonna explore different things, and I'm not gonna be scared to risk, I'm not gonna lie though, like I'm not the person that's gonna say like I'm not scared to fail. I was definitely scared to fail.
Yeah.
I'm scared. I was scared of being a failure. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I was scared of people seeing. You've been wanting to grab that forever this whole time. He was waiting for his moment to grab it. But I was the person that was just scared of failure, man. And I didn't want people to see me failing. Up until recently, like I said, like I am who I am today because of the things that I've been through. Up until recently, where I took some major losses in my life, like personally. And I had to renew myself. Yeah. Right. And it was like I said, man, I'm a big believer, in Christ, and that is why I am where I am today. Like what you see today, if you would have seen me last year, you would have like totally different person. I'm a person that I like to be in front of people. I like to help people and support people. So, I get into a little bit about that when we talk about the mental health stuff.
Yeah, I definitely relate to that a lot, especially being around people. And I think a big thing that I like that you said was how did you word it? Kind of evolve. What was the word you said? I want to say evolve. You said a certain word. I liked it because it wasn't changing. It wasn't changing who you were. Yeah, renew. It wasn't changing who you were, but it was just redoing. It was kind of a fixing. I guess fixing sounds negative. But
evolving is the perfect word you said though. Yeah, that's a perfect like.
Because it isn't changing yourself. Yeah. It isn't being someone new. It isn't being someone who you aren't. But that is a good way to put that. Because I do relate to that, and that was a big thing that I really wanted to get you on was, listening to some of your other work, and then obviously I follow you online and stuff. But this is a true story. A big thing for me was when I first met you, and we had talked about like getting on and kind of getting your podcast over here and stuff, and just kind of talking that stuff. I had talked to a buddy, shout out Tamer, in the gym, right? UXL. Mm-hmm. Yeah. You've been there. Yeah. Right.
I had a membership there for a while.
Exactly.
When I lived out there.
Yeah, I talked to my buddy Tamer in the gym, and I was like, he's big into like the fitness world and stuff. So he's like, yeah, like, do you know this guy, like Tamer? I just said the name. He's like, did he used to go here? Knew you. I'm not making this up. He knew you from when you went here, and this was, I don't know how long it's been since you've been at UXL.
2 years.
Yeah, he remembered you, and he was saying how like, and I said this too. You have no idea meeting you that I don't know, like an influencer, you know, like, because being an influencer has such a negative stigma.
Yeah, and it's broad. It's so broad.
Exactly.
Too, right?
The problem is you get these people who they want to be an influencer to be famous.
Yeah.
You know, they just want to make YouTube prank videos and stuff
which is cool though.
They're not all horrible, but I think a lot of
them. We need that stuff here and there though. We need those people who are like funny and.
I don't know. Some of it's ridiculous.
It is.
Some of it's ridiculous.
It's for the wrong reasons for sure.
Yeah, there's a time and place. Like there's a science to it. I think there is a purpose of what you're doing. Like, am I gonna sit here and say like, I don't know, PewDiePie? How PewDiePie? Like, no, like did it, obviously. I don't know. That's just the first one I thought of. But like, getting back to my point, like someone who has no idea, doesn't have a connection to you, you know, and them coming out and just saying like, yeah, super nice guy, like stand up guy, you know, and how one of the first things he told me was how you'd have no idea that he used the word famous, right? I would call you a more famous person, you know, I would call you famous. And he said, you'd have no idea. You don't act like it at all. Someone you could just, like meeting you, we just talk. Yeah. You know, it's almost weird. And being around this industry, I haven't run into it too much, but you hear about it a lot. And people, especially people who have no right acting like that, they get so in their heads where they think they are famous. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, it is weird, man. It is weird because the concept around like, I would say the concept around somebody not knowing who they are and that they're always trying to portray something. Yeah. So the biggest thing for me was early on in life, I knew who I was. Mm-hmm. I knew who I was and I knew who I wanted to be. And, you know, as you get older, you start to learn even more about yourself when you go through those failures and those lessons. So, but a lot of people don't go through those things because they don't risk enough. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So, you know, for me, I understood who I was and who I wanted to be. So I wanted to be someone to where, you know, somebody, when they see me, it was just a mirror of themselves. You get what I'm saying?
That's exactly how it is.
A lot of those guys that, you know, they portray whatever they're portraying, they don't know who they are and they don't give anybody the ability to see themselves through this person. Yeah. So, you know, I want to be that for other people. Mm-hmm. And, you know, I'm just grateful that is actually like living, like I'm actually doing it, you know? So shout out to your homie too, bro. I appreciate that, bro.
Yeah. I'm not just saying that cause you're on. I'm not like that.
I understand. I know.
I won't sit here and act like that. But that is a serious conversation that I've had with him, and I'm going to get him on the pod. I want to get him on the pod here too. You know Tamer from the gym, right?
Maybe.
Yeah, you probably do. I don't know last time we've been together if I've talked to him, but super like great guy. Like honestly, kind of reminds me of you. Like in same kind of thing. I talked to him yesterday. He said the same exact thing of like, it's not. He says like, because I have this. I kind of struggle with this where it's like I really want people to like me. Mm-hmm. You know, not that I want everyone to like me for attention, but I do care if people like me. I care about people liking me for the right reasons.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. Because, because you know what you want to do, what you want to do for people. So when you have this understanding of like, man, you just want to help people, or you want to be just a good friend to people, you want people to connect with you so that you can show them who you are in a positive way.
Yeah,
you know, I don't see no negativity coming from you.
Thank you.
So that is why I believe that, you know, like you just have to, for example, man, just tap into, you know, you believe in God.
Yeah.
Tap into the Holy Spirit more, bro, because like God gives us all a mission. He gives us all a purpose, and you know, once you dig deeper into your faith, you will start to understand how to use that more. Yeah. So where you don't need people to like you, or you know, because they just will. The right people will be attracted to you. You know what I mean?
That's a better way to put it. Mm-hmm. It's not that I need everyone to like me, but I do care. I don't care when someone doesn't like me, or for some, like let's say for whatever reason, someone doesn't like me. They have a bad opinion on me. I don't stress on that. I do not care. Yeah. And
I do.
Really?
Yeah, I do.
It depends. I think sometimes people have reasons, whatever. Here's the other thing I'll say is I think I really didn't. I don't think I even understood the framework of who I am or who I'm supposed to be, who I am. I don't think I even understood the framework of who I am until these last 2 years, you know? I think that is God. I really do think I went through some things that I needed to. You know, sometimes you do have to see, you gotta see some shit. Like to finally, you gotta feel the pain. You gotta burn. You gotta get burned.
That's right.
To know that you ain't supposed to touch the fire. Exactly.
You gotta go through the fire though.
Yeah.
You know.
I'm finally accepting that. So
yeah, because if you're just sitting there like you know, you like, but then when you touch it, you know, like, oh, I can't. This is what I can't. This is what I cannot do. Or I have to put an oven mitt on. You know. Or maybe whatever. So it's like, I understand that, man. I understand that journey.
Yeah. You know? But I guess on that point, like trying to figure that out, I think now I'm finally figuring out. I think in college, I had my first year and a half. I had a really rough time in school.
Where'd you go to school at?
I don't want to bash the school.
Yeah.
I am gonna bash the school, so I'm not gonna say the name. Actually, I'll cut it. University, a private D2 school.
Well, what's your share your experience, bro? Just share whatever your experience was. You don't have to bash the school, you know.
I'm gonna bash the school. It was horrible. It was the worst. It was just like, so I went on a lacrosse scholarship. So here, let me build the framework. So I graduated 2020 during COVID, like right when COVID happened. So like I lost my senior year and stuff. I played lacrosse since freshman year. That's all I did.
That was the worst, bro. I hated it. I hated to see that stuff.
It's crazy. It was weird.
A lot of athletes missed out on, you know, the next phase of whatever they're going to do, bro.
I know personally, I personally know people that like I played with or personal friend athletes who didn't do anything with it because of that. Like whether it was them not wanting to or they missed that opportunity. But yeah, so I graduated 2020 during COVID, and during that time, I was never planning on going to college. I got horrible grades in high school. I didn't try. I really didn't try at all. I went to the Career Center, which is like a trade school. Yeah. So I was going to be a firefighter, firefighting EMT, which I loved. And even now, I still think about it. But I was doing that.
That's legit for sure.
Yeah. So I was going to do that. That was my plan. And unfortunately, I found out that my grades didn't matter. All I had to do was pass my major class, like the public safety is what it was called, public safety. Do good in that. As long as you have D's in the rest of your classes, they do not care. Like, because that's what you need to pass to graduate, right? Fire stations don't care what my GPA was in high school. They care what certification I have. You know?
Don't care if you pass science class.
Exactly. So I didn't care at all, which is me being lazy. I'm a lazy high school student, whatever.
So like doing what you need to do to get by.
Yeah. And so I graduate high school with it's funny to say this online, a 1.8 GPA, right? Bad. But I graduated. I had D's in every class except for my major class.
Hey, if any kids watching this, you can graduate with.
That's not every school. Don't go with D's, please. For people fail, start blaming us. But so that's what happened. That sets the framework. So I went there on a scholarship. And basically going in, they were like, listen, like the decision for me to go, I'm not making any of this up. I have no reason to make this up. But the decision for me to go went all the way up to the vice president of the school, right? So the coach didn't really stick his neck out for me, but he kind of advocated for me to go. And it went all the way up to him, and they ended up accepting me. And basically it was like, listen, like you're going to lose this much of your scholarship. Like I think it was like 3/4 of it. For the first semester, you're going to be on academic probation. So as soon as I signed the papers, academic probation, I can't play, I can't do anything. But it was like, this is what you signed up for. Like, if you want to play, like, this is what you're doing. And I was totally in on it, you know?
Yeah,
so
of course.
That first semester, I did it. I got the best GPA I've ever had. I think I had a 3.2. I think I had let's say a 3.0, right? Which isn't crazy, but I'm not, like, the greatest with school, you know? And I really worked my ass off. I did it. And I got it. And then that year, I had a starting position, and I lost it because – so that would have been – so off-season, we're going into the first scrimmage. I can't play because of that, which is, like, fine. I get that done. I go in – we are now in season, right? I am dressed up for the first game, mind you. So we've had all of that with the few months of the beginning. We've had all of that where we've had practice, all that stuff. We are dressed up. I'm walking out to the first game. I'm starting. I worked. I have a starting spot. My coach pulls me aside and says, hey, you can't play because the school, basically I didn't have my academics. So what happened was because of my grades, I had I had to take another class. I had to take it was like Algebra 1, right? I take an algebra
like
class.
Extra.
Yeah, it was just a normal math class, right?
Yeah.
But the problem was no one told me that it didn't count as enough credits.
Yeah.
So it was a half credit. So this is my academic advisor not telling me this. This is the school not telling me this. This is the coach somehow just not knowing that this is a thing and him not telling me this.
I have a story just super relatable.
Yeah, go.
So, all throughout high school, right, I started off 40 games playing football, varsity, from freshman to senior year. And when I went into my senior year, I had pretty much every Division II offer to play football. Right. I had Bowling Green offer, Toledo offer, but I lost it going into my senior year because I had got kicked out of camp. So it was a terrible, terrible situation. So
do you care if I ask what happened?
Yeah,
you do not have to talk about it.
So there was a 7-on-7 national 7-on-7 camp that HSPD was hosting, and it's where all 32 NFL teams. Is it 32 NFL teams?
Yes.
Yeah, they all have their own team, and each state has their own 10 players that represent. So this year it was in Cleveland, right? So Cleveland Browns was representing it. I made it to the final team, and this was a summertime going into my senior year. So, all the carnivals are happening. It's July, or August. So I take my whole team, and we're smoking weed, bro. In the hotel, drinking, just stupid shit, bro. So stupid, man.
Right.
And so
kids, dude.
Yeah. So
You're being kids.
So then I call my friend. He picks us up, takes us to the festival. We have a curfew at 10 o'clock. I'm not supposed to leave for real. So somebody ends up saying hey, we see your HSPD kids here. They're at the carnival. So my coach is listen, I know where you. Then after that, I take them to a hookah bar. After the festival, I take them to a hookah bar. So I'm just not even thinking about the consequences, bro. And so then coach calls me. He's like, hey, I know where you are. Just get back, and you guys will be good. I get back. He's also my athletic director from my high school too. Kicks us out of the camp. The two coaches come up from BG and Toledo to come see me play in the national camp, and I'm gone. So they end up taking my scholarships, and then all the Division II schools got wind of it. So then I got every offer. Went to Ashland, right? My GPA was a 2.6, and I didn't know you could get in with a 1.8. That's crazy. That's God. That's God.
I don't think I should have. It was a lot.
So I ended up going to Ashland, trying to follow the footsteps of a former player who played in high school with me. That he went to the NFL from Ashland. So I'm gonna just follow his footsteps. This the best blueprint I could think of. So I did that. I went in on academic probation, just like you, right? But I didn't take advantage of that though, like you did. I'm still careless. I went in as a true freshman and I played, right? So I'm playing. I'm around all the girls. This is my first time having real freedom in life. My parents never really wanted me to have girls at the house or my parents weren't strict, but they cared enough to not want me to get in too much freedom too early. So when I got to college, I just went wild, bro. Right? So academic probation, I ended up messing up that first semester, and then I got another chance in the spring semester, so messed up again. They said, hey, if you don't get your GPA up above a 2.0, it's over with. So I got a 1.8 my fall semester, then a 1.9. So if I just would have tried a little bit harder, I would have been good, and then we ended up winning the ring. I got kicked out of school. So I had my first child was coming. So this was her name's Aria. So she, her mom was pregnant. I got super depressed, and I really wasn't focusing on my grades. So coming back home in the summertime, I got a letter in the mail. I got kicked off the team, kicked out of school. Go to Tri-C, get my GPA up. My daughter's born at the time, So then I ended up start selling weed and stuff back home, so I can make some money. I got a job at Finish Line. I took that. I got accepted. Got my grades up at Tri-C. Got accepted back into Ashland again, right? So I ended up taking that stuff with me back. All the everything I was doing back home, took it back with me to college. I'm like, oh, if I can do this in the city, I can take it back to college and make a killing.
Yeah,
which I did. Talk about that. But when I went back to school, though, the second time, my coach didn't tell me that I wouldn't be able to play in the fall season, or else I would have went somewhere else.
What did he? Was there a reason?
Yeah, because I believe it was because just my situation.
Yeah,
just my situation. Maybe the credits didn't all transfer or something. happened, but I got accepted back into school. I just couldn't play in the fall season, which is like
same thing.
I'm trained, bro. In that time period, I went to a trainer. His name is Hutch. You know, that time period, I was the best athlete, best condition. I was the strongest, the most in shape.
Yeah.
I went back in the fall season. I was blowing them kids out of the water.
Right.
But I couldn't play. You know, so
it's
same situation, bro. And I got depressed. You know, but I was like, forget it. Like I'm gonna just thug it out, right? I did it for a full, was it a year? Maybe it was a year, but you know, I missed out on the whole season. They ended up winning the ring that year, so it was bad, man. Then I got kicked out of school again.
Yeah,
I got kicked out again because I got caught on campus, driving down a one-way, leaving a bar with scales, some weed, right? So I got kicked out again, bro. So this is the second time, and I ended up going to court. I had all the money that I made in my time period from like 2-month period. I had to spend it on a lawyer, right? So, you know, I was just when I got kicked out. Then I ended up finding the Herbalife opportunity, you know. But like I said, bro, our stories are very similar. Like the academic probation, not knowing that we couldn't play. Like, so I literally understand your story.
That's exactly what happened. The same, like what you were explaining. Like that's exactly what happened. I was missing credits, and no one told me this.
Yeah, nobody told me.
There was a kid in my class. He was the star, Kyle. I was friends with him. Star basketball player. He's like, dude, my academic advisor told me when we scheduled the classes. He's like, all you had to do was take an extra class to make up, like any class.
Yeah.
I was down like 1 credit.
Yeah.
I missed it over nothing. I'm walking out to the field. They tell me I don't have the credit. Like he didn't even know. He just told me the school won't let you play. Like you can't play. And apparently he didn't know until today. So it's like, okay. And mind you, that game was in an actual blizzard, like legitimate, full-blown blizzard. I'm not dressed to stand on the sidelines the whole time.
Yeah, you ready to get your
I
blood
literally
flowing.
was like, it sounds like cocky. I was starting. I had a starting position. I was going to be on the field the entire time.
This lacrosse?
Yeah, lacrosse.
In blizzard?
I swear to God, a blizzard. I swear to God.
Where was this at?
Mount Vernon, it's about an hour and a half south of here. There's a cornfield in front of my school. So that's the other part of it, right? So let me get into that. So I missed that. I mixed the next season. Also in that season, so I'm like, all right. I finished that. Over the summer, I take summer classes. I take care of the missing credits, and I took a language because I was missing a fucking language. Oh, no, I didn't miss a language. While this is happening, I took a class there. I need to take a language. I'll take sign language. My professor is deaf, completely deaf, and it's all online. This was his first time teaching at a college level. I swear to God, I swear they fired him that semester. He didn't make it past that semester. There were 8 kids in my class, and of those 8 kids, 6 of them were either high school students taking like a college credit class, or they had family members who were deaf. So they had a background in sign language. Me and the other 2, there was more than 8, because there was 3 of us or 4 of us who failed. All 4 of us were normal students. Yeah. Not normal sounds bad,
I know
but
what you're saying.
Basic students who didn't have a background in this. Right. All of us failed. They didn't help any of us out. We just had to take that L. So then I was like, what the fuck? So that's my first year.
It's no bueno.
First year. So I go in that summer. I take extra classes so that I have the credits. I take my sign language class. So that is out of the way. I do great in my summer classes. I forgot her last name, Patty. From Tri-C. I wish I knew her name. One of the best teachers I've ever had. And it was a summer school teacher. Yeah. Like I remember I went through a breakup at that time, and it was a rough one. Like I took that real hard, and that leads into this next semester. That one was hard. And she pulled me. This is an online class. She told me to stay after class and called me out on it. And was like, what's going on? Like what happened? Yeah. Love her to death. Older, like the older black woman. She was so sweet. She's like, what's going on, Erron? You're acting different. And I was like, I'm not getting out of this. So then I told her, and she was just all ears. Like someone like that, where it's like, she didn't have to do that. No. She could have just ended class. Yeah. And I told her what was going on, and that was why, because the other thing was my grades were kind of slipping. Yeah. And that was why I was just depressed. Yeah. And that was another thing that was really big to me, which kind of made me want to get back to that, because at this time I didn't know who I was. I was a big shot. I was the only person on my lacrosse team who went on a scholarship. I was that guy. I went and did it, you know?
In your mind, in your mind,
I didn't know who I was. All I wanted to do was make everyone proud of me. I sucked in school. This was something everyone was like.
Everything you were good at.
Everyone was looking at me because I did it. I left. I was at a school. I had this scholarship. I'm playing ball. I'm getting the grades, and that was what they saw. And there was a lot going on behind the scenes that I didn't show, but I think I grew kind of obsessed with that. My parents are very supportive. They're divorced, but they're supportive. They're very supportive of me. But there was something to it of that. It was a different level of like being proud of me. Yeah. I remember when we were going on the way to sign my thing to sign to the school. Yeah. My dad pulled me aside and told me, he's like, I'm proud of you. Like, because he always told me, he's like, you don't got to go to college. He was one of the people that told me. He didn't mean it in a negative way, but he told me, don't go to college. Don't waste your time. You're not college material. He would say that, and he didn't know what he was saying would have an effect. But being told that it does have an effect, he was just trying to be genuine, telling me like, you don't need to go to college, Yeah. And so I remember that was one of the things when I left, killed me. Like, my dad never found out what went on in Mount Vernon. Kind of for that reason, I didn't want him to feel bad about it. But going back to what I'm saying is that was a hard time. I go back this next semester. This would have been the last semester I was there. That past semester, I got fined over $200 by the school because I didn't have enough church credits. I'm very religious. I'm very Christian. It honestly hurt my faith a lot. I used to be church every Sunday. Unfortunately, I'm not now, and I need to get back to that.
Yeah,
but
it's okay, bro.
Killed my faith.
It'll come back to you at the right time. Yeah, you don't want to rush into it.
Yeah,
somebody at the gym told me that. I was actually thinking because my first time back to church physically was Mother's Day, and like 6 months before that, this guy said like, don't rush your way back to God. Pretty much, like just let it come to you. Yeah, because if you rush your way in, it might not be right. You won't like pledge your faith the right way. You get what I'm saying?
I don't think I've ever heard that advice before. Yeah, it makes sense.
People are always like, just get to church. Like,
yeah,
come to church.
That's all you hear.
You go to church, but it's like, no, like it'll come to you at the perfect time, and that's what all I needed to hear, because I'm like, man, I want to go to church, but like something is not like drawing me to church physically, right? I was listening to sermons, to Eric Thomas. He has some sermons on YouTube. Like, just start with that. Just start with like some sermons Monday through Sunday, bro, and just have your time with God.
Let him come to you. Yeah.
Let God come to you, bro.
I've never heard that.
Because he will. If you believe, he will.
I do believe. I do truly believe.
That's good, bro. That's good.
I struggle, man.
We all struggle, bro.
But feel
the biggest thing though, know that like we're not alone, because we got that higher spirit that's waiting on us. Yeah. You're not alone, bro.
I feel like
we all struggle because it's so easy to fall into the temptation and the enemy. The enemy is always around, so it's so easy to like just do something bad, or just like fall into the bad habits, or become undisciplined. The hard part is like remembering that we have something bigger than us that is directing everything, right? So we're like, like why haven't I gotten into this yet, or why hasn't this happened, or why am I still making this amount of money, or why haven't I found the opportunity yet? Like, I'm a good guy, but it's like God's just cooking up for us right now. He's cooking up for me and you. Like,
yeah.
I came into Cheddar Studios when we did that 30 on 30 thing here, and bro, I was in the worst time of my life when that was going on. Like, I'm talking about like partying phase. Like, he was in the process of being born. I was just the most depressed I've been ever since I got kicked out of college. So when I came here, bro, I didn't know like why. I knew that when Tommy built this place, it was a place for me to come and feel safe and do. This would be a part of my life at some point. So not knowing that, God was cooking up something for me. Like, I didn't know you would be here. I didn't meet you when I came here. So it's like God is always.
I wasn't even here yet.
Exactly. But I was in the worst place in my life when I came here. So come today, right? God's always cooking, bro. He's always doing it for us. He's always in the background, just, you know, helping us. So just let him come to you, bro.
That's what and it's truly brought me like actual, like, it sounds dumb, inner peace. Like, I feel so much better.
Why do you think it sounds dumb?
I don't know.
It's empowering.
I don't know.
It's empowering. Hey, bro, I'm here to instill that into you though. Like, I'm gonna do that for you because that's the type of person I am. Like, it's not dumb. It's empowering,
and it's huge, and that's how I want to be.
To the people that it's dumb to, we don't even want them watching this podcast.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? But if you're open to a different perspective, then the word empowering, you could just shift it.
Yeah,
because the inner peace that you receive is going to help the next person. Yeah, the inner peace that you're having and experiencing is going to help the next person in their journey. Because we don't know what people are going through, bro. Like, we don't know. Never. They could be going through stuff 10 times worse, and they really don't think any peace is going to come in their life anytime soon.
Bro, when I first met Tommy, I met Tommy through my girlfriend and his wife are good friends. And him, even just the first time he brought me in here to just see it, like, I never told him that, but that was like, it wasn't a low point in my life, but I was just getting back into school. I was just figuring out if I even want to pursue, you know, fucking telling people that you want to do podcasts is like telling people that you're a rapper, you know, like it. That's
true, bro. That is
truly
true.
Has changed. Even I personally am someone who I can say I was a problem with that, where I would like, people would tell you that, and it's like, get a real job. And then as like now people will tell me that, and it's, as soon as someone tells me that, like, I won't dwell on it. But when I first came here, like, I was really questioning what I was doing.
Yeah, people don't understand though, bro. Like, you can make $1 million from podcasting.
Any of it,
you know,
entertainment.
So like, yeah, they got the lower level people who are like, oh, like, but then when we're somebody like us, we're like, man, we can change the world with the one podcast. You know what I'm saying? We could build a community with one podcast. You know, like, we could.
And that's what it's about. It's changing a community.
That's it, bro.
The money comes.
I'll get paid later. On the back end later on.
Exactly.
But when I can support one man's life. A guy texted me the other day, like, I told you, he's like, hey man, you gotta drop another podcast. You in a podcast you did with your boy Sean was fire. And I was like thinking, I'm like, damn, like, I'm not getting much traction on it. But one person, bro, is all like, one person, because that one person is gonna talk.
That's him behind the camera.
Yeah,
staying
bro.
On my ass about it.
Yeah.
About doing this.
You see, that's what it's about, bro. That's what it's about. You need that.
Yeah.
That's so special, bro. Like, what you guys have is so special, and can nobody take this away from you? Nobody.
Yeah.
That's the biggest thing. The opportunity we had with lacrosse and football, somebody could take that from us and take that and say, hey, you can't play because your credits aren't. Hey, you can't play because your grades.
Yeah.
Can nobody take this from us?
Yeah.
We control the cameras. Yeah. You know, we control the editing. We control what we're saying. That's the difference, bro. People don't like when they can't control you. So that's what they say. That's why they say.
It's always old heads.
That's why they say podcast. And even some young people, because they don't have
no
vision.
I definitely have.
I think it's because of the vision, though.
Yeah.
When people don't have vision, they're like, oh, like old people. They don't have much vision because they like, oh, my time's up. Like, I didn't did this. Like some young people don't have vision. They don't have that gift, you know. So, you know, and with Tommy, bro. This place is just a place, like you said, where people can come here and, you know, it's just like, it's lively in here, bro. Like,
I talk Tommy up all the time. Meeting him, you wouldn't know he owns, like, he runs this.
Yeah.
He's so, like, just like, like, you can tell he just enjoys what he does.
That's what makes him so interesting, though.
I love it. I love it.
That's what makes him so interesting.
It's so nice, though. Like, as a boss, like, he is my boss. He, you know, he doesn't feel like it, you know. I mean, like, Tommy's someone I could go hang out with and not feel like I'm hanging out with my boss. Yeah. I mean, like, he's someone I truly consider a friend.
He's like a leader, bro.
He truly is.
Yeah, he's a leader for sure.
Oh, truly. He's someone I'd gladly say I look up to.
Yeah.
Like, for even who he is outside of this realm, just him as a person. Like, I'll gladly say that because that's what he is. He's himself.
I love that.
And
we need more people like that around us.
Dude, that's me now. That's what I'm really realized these last couple months. I talk to my girlfriend about it all the time. I swear she's in my phone as therapist. Like, I swear she's my little therapist. I love her to death.
That's That's priceless right there.
She's my best friend. I swear to God. Love her to death.
Man. I'm happy for you. So happy.
Oh, yeah. She friend-zoned me for 9 months when I first met her, so that's where it comes in. I'm calling you out.
Yeah.
She's my best friend, though, but I told her about it.
Like, you got her now.
Oh, yeah.
Got it.
Oh, hell yeah. But I told her about it, like, just surrounding myself with people who, you know, I think I just have started to get to a point where it's like, being around you, if I don't feel good around you 10 out of 10 times, I don't have a reason to be. Even if it's 9 out of 10 times I feel good around you, but then there's that one time where it's like, and you're draining me.
Yeah.
Like, no, I don't want to do shit. Like I don't have time to go to the bars.
Yeah.
Like, or like you guys are kind of just bothering me about, you know, whatever joke. Like friends make jokes, you know, but whatever.
It'd be a lot of hate behind the jokes though.
Yeah. Well, there's a difference. I have friends. My friend Julian, he'll roast me. Yeah. Oh, he'll toast me, dude. Yeah. It's so, and I love it. It's funny as hell. And some other people, with other people, it's like
you joking or I don't
exactly.
know. Like,
exactly. Like,
do we need to go outside and box real quick?
So like, it's gotten to this point where I feel like an old man where it's like,
me too.
Do I want to go? Do I want to go out or do I want to stay inside and play cards with my girlfriend?
My lady, yeah.
Exactly. Or like me and Zach, we'll just 12 o'clock, we'll go to a range. Yeah. Let's just go golf, man, and just be out rather than spending.
That's what it's about. That's longevity though. You can maintain that relationship with him because it's like that stuff is like maintainable. Like, you can do that for the rest of your life. You can't do that partying shit for the rest of your life.
I also am drained. I did that shit. I did that shit before I was 21. That was the other thing. During college,
I used to have a $5,000 like entertainment like budget a month for myself. Yeah, where I would travel, go to Miami, and we would buy boats and drive Lamborghini trucks. Like a lot of people don't even see that. I don't post. I didn't post a lot of that stuff on my social media because I was kind of portraying, but I was also like knowing who I want, like what type of man I wanted to be. But I also was like, man, I want to have fun. So I was trying to do both. And you know, like I said, a $5,000 entertainment budget. When I'm like, and now I'm just like, dang, 5,000 times 12 times 2-3 years, like, oh shoot,
I can spend that way better. Man, I feel that, dude.
You know, so
I go to the flats, I spend $100, and the next day I'm like, damn, I could have put that towards a microphone.
That's right. That is right. That's good. And that's the game we need to be given to people in these podcasts. Like
it's
these
who
kids,
you surround yourself with.
Yep, it is.
That's the advice.
It is, you know. So sometimes you have to, even though you don't want to be alone, or you want to be around, you know, people, you have to remove yourself so you can see who you are and renew yourself, so you can go attract that group of friends or friend, you know, that is meant for you in this next phase of your life.
I had to fall. I had a rough patch like I'd say a year and a half ago too. When I came home from college and coming home from college was the most difficult time of my life.
Really?
I went through some shit. And that was like, it was just hard. It was a really rough time coming home.
Is it because you think you didn't know, like, you had to face reality?
I didn't know who I was at all.
Right.
I mean, I was partying all the time. I was just constantly, kind of like what you said when you went to school. I was with girls. I was hanging out with people I shouldn't have been around. And I lost who I was. And being in school, I was always trying to be something I wasn't. I wanted people to think I was so cool. Yeah. Because people thought I was so, I had this vision, I had this thing in my head, which wasn't true, that people thought I was cool. That people thought I was so cool because I could go hang out with that girl. I could go, you know, I could meet up with her. Absolutely. Right. I can definitely talk to girls, you know. Right. I can go party. I can get us a party this weekend, you know. That kind of thing. The things that I thought people thought I was cool for was people using me. You know, and people, most of the time, like most of my friends that I have now, it wasn't even like that. They actually hated that. It actually took, when I really hit a low point, some of my friends kind of being like, yo, like, you're acting crazy. Like, and it really took me hitting a wall to be like, oh, this isn't me. And then kind of finding myself. But
you got to get around the people that see the highest version of you.
Yeah.
Like somebody like that who can see the highest version of you without you even being there and being like, nah, this is not how I see you in the light. You know, this is very the things that we were doing were minute to compare to our purpose and our mission. And sometimes it takes that one person or two people around you, or, you know, whoever it is, to be like, hey, like, you know, I'm not gonna fuck with you if you're gonna keep doing this. I'm not, you know, like, this is not it, bro. So
I lost friends. I lost friends because I was acting crazy. I wasn't myself. And I was depressed, dude. I was crying.
Yeah.
I remember like just being in my dorm room. I had like my own bathroom, just crying on the floor. I didn't know what was going on. I didn't know what I was doing with my life.
Let me ask you,
And lacrosse was falling apart.
At that time, like, I've always been a visionary where I could see things in the future. At that time, did you lose your vision? Did you not know what was next?
I lost my faith. I felt I felt outcasted in the church. It's not that I felt outcasted by my friends, but I wasn't home. It was really hard for me to make friends in college, and I'm a friendly person.
Yeah.
Me and you started talking right away. I'm like this. I just talk to people. I'm a talker.
What about your confidence?
Confidence was off. Horrible.
Yeah.
It was all ego.
Yeah.
It wasn't confidence. It was all ego.
I was thinking about this, right? I was driving, and I was like, man, what's something I can talk about tomorrow? And this came up for me.